We're doing fast. We're not doing perfect. This isn't perfect minute meals. So today we're gonna be making shrimp and crispy rice with citrus. This is a really great sort of year-round friendly quick dinner that relies on you having leftover rice. If you have rice left over from ordering in last night, or you made a double batch and you have some sitting in your fridge, this is a super easy way to use that up in a delicious manner that doesn't feel like leftovers. Pull everything that you need and put it on your workstation before you start going, so you're not like running to all the cabinets as you go. That'll help you cook quickly. So many citrus. Are you ready? On my mark. Get set, go. Oh no. Okay, this is a garbage bowl. You've got to have a garbage bowl. It just means everything can go in there that you are working with, and you don't have to keep going back and forth to the garbage can, which can really slow you down. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of our oranges. We're gonna squeeze her into a bowl. I'm doing this over a strainer so I can catch any seeds. We're gonna wait to dress the salad at the end because you don't want it to get soggy. We've got our orange juice, and that plus a little bit of lime juice is gonna be the base of our dressing. Orange juice and lime juice is like a classic combo because the orange is providing more sweetness and the lime is providing more tartness. So you really have a nice balance here. This is a Cara orange. We're gonna zest it first. Just a little bit of zest to provide more citrus flavor. In this recipe, we're using citrus 3 ways: the zest, the juice, and the flesh of the fruit itself. So really citrus forward, which is great in these winter months when food has the tendency to be a bummer because there's not a lot of fun freshness that you're working with. Citrus is a great cheat. And then we're gonna use garlic that we're gonna grate right into the dressing. You kind of want just this paste that whisks into the dressing and you get the flavor without any of the texture. This is also a speed assist. It can happen quite fast, like mere seconds. We're gonna add actually a little bit of Aleppo style pepper too. This is one of my faves. It's just a mild chili flake. I like it because it provides that flavor and it also provides nice color without making anything overwhelmingly spicy. We're gonna do a little bit of oil as well. Okay, so this is our gorgeous dressing. Needs a little bit of salt, as everything does. So we're a couple minutes down, our dressing's done, and now we're gonna get into the prep of our other produce. First thing we're gonna do is Suprême our citrus. It sounds like a fancy technique, but it's really not that hard at all. You are gonna lop off both ends of your citrus, and then you're gonna take your knife and follow the curve of the orange or grapefruit or whatever you have around the edge to sort of like maintain the shape of the original fruit. So once you've cut the edges and now you have this like very clean round of citrus, where you see these lines, you're just gonna cut between them to get those wedges out. And what you're left with is this really gorgeous piece of fruit that has no pith, no skin, no nothing. So this is just more of the same. It's usually easier with a bigger fruit because you have a little bit more to work with. So if you want to start with your grapefruit, that might be a good way to like get your bearings in terms of this technique. So the other thing you can do here, if you don't want to go as far as cutting these beautiful little wedges, you can get to the point where you're cutting all the outside off and then just cut your citrus into wheels. If you want to spend a little more time, you can make a like cutie little Suprême with your citrus. If you want to go a little bit faster, you can just cut your wheels or half moons and you'll get the same result. So this is the other half of the orange that we have to make our juice. I just don't want that bad boy going to waste. So you can just do the same thing that you would on the whole orange, but because you already have a cut side, you're just putting the cut side down and operating with that as the bottom. And then I'm gonna go the easy route here, trim off our top and then slice. Our citrus is prepped, 2 things down. Now the last move is we're gonna prep the remaining salad ingredients, which are a red onion and an avocado. And if you have just a tiny onion, this is a good use for that. I think we'll only use about half here. And then our avocado. And you can really cut your avocado however you please. Do you like cubes? Do you like slices? Live your life. She's pretty. So if your avocado is ripe enough, yeah, you should be able to peel the skin right off. And then you don't have to work with like unearthing, excavating your beautiful slices from like within this cup, which can be hard to do and maintain the shape. We did it. We did prep. We're so good. For this, I feel like I just want to be working with my fork and shoveling this delicious meal into my mouth, and I don't really want to be futzing with tails, so I'm going to remove them before I cook the shrimp. And there's a really easy way to do that. You just hold the body of the shrimp in one hand, and then the like little sort of connector between the top of the tail and the taily part of the tail in your other hand, and pinch and pull. If you know you don't want to deal with tails, you can just seek out peeled, deveined, and tail off shrimp, and you can zoom right through. And now you're ready to roll. So what we're gonna do is pat our shrimp dry, just as you would any protein. You gotta pat your protein dry because otherwise all that liquid is just gonna steam in the pan. If you really want a nice sear on your protein, you have to make sure that it's nice and dry. And then we're just gonna do a quick season. I love to have shrimp on hand at all times in my freezer. Shrimp is great frozen. You really don't lose a lot of the texture or the flavor by freezing and then thawing out your shrimp. And it thaws very quickly. And the actual cook time is minutes, like less than 5 minutes until they're opaque and pink and curled and ready to eat. So if you want a quick protein to sort of like bulk it up and make it a full dinner, shrimp is absolutely the way to go. We are ready. Prep completely complete. 100%. So we're gonna take our shrimp and we're gonna take our day-old rice and we're gonna head to the stove. So we're gonna heat our nonstick skillet over like medium-high and put a little bit of oil in the pan and let that heat up. Because I have both rice and shrimp happening in this pan, a nonstick skillet is the move. And we are gonna toss in our shrimp. Basically what we're gonna do is let our shrimp cook on one side for a couple of minutes so you really get a nice sear on them in as even a layer as possible. You don't need to have like perfect contact with the pan for everybody, but as much as you can get. You can see here that it's starting to come up the sides. Shrimp cooks super quickly and it's easy to overcook, so do not leave. This is where you live right now. For the next 3 minutes, you're here. Oh yeah, see that nice sear that we've got going on here? That's because we've had it dry really nicely and it's getting that nice golden browning on it. So now you're just gonna tip these bad boys around. Make sure both sides are getting some pan time. We've just been at medium-high the whole time. You want that little bit of pinkness and you want this really nice sort of browning sear. All right, we're done. We're gonna toss them on the side plate here. And then you've got this really nice sort of shrimpy, oily flavor in there, which we're not gonna let go to waste. Usually that would be someplace where you would build a sauce, and instead we're gonna use that to flavor our crispy rice. So we're gonna heat our pan back up to medium-high. And this is our day-old rice. So the number one tip I have for cooking rice is cook too much every single time. Always cook too much. It's really nice to have leftovers because rice can become so many things, especially by applying a little bit of heat. You can transform rice in a really delightful way. So we're gonna pop that in. If your rice is like in a container like this, it might be all stuck together. So it's good to get in there first and make sure your grains are loosened. Then you can pat your rice into this nice level puck. And something else I like to do is just add a little bit of oil at the edges, just a little bit. It'll sink in from the sides and it'll help make this a nice golden brown puck. You'll see in a lot of recipes for fried rice, it actually calls for day-old rice because that time that it has spent sort of like chilling out and losing a little bit of its fluffy edge is actually key to making an amazing fried rice. So we're gonna let this go for a couple of minutes, like 6-ish, to really provide a nice crispy layer underneath. So our rice is ready. If you can flip it nicely onto your plate, it's worth it to try. Whew, look at that. Is it perfect? No, it's not. But guess what? It's exactly as crispy as we want. Look at that, so nice. And when we break it up into pieces on the plate, it's gonna be delicious. All right, we're heading back to our station and we're gonna make our salad and plate everything up. Can you hear it? It's really crispy. So for our finished plate, we're gonna get some of that on the bottom here. And you'll see that the top layer is crispy, but underneath is still fluffy and nice, right? And that's great because having that variety of texture makes for a lovely meal. So we're at like 13, 14 minutes. You're in your final minute here, getting your dish plated. We've got our crispy rice. And then we're gonna build ourselves our little salad. We're gonna use a little bit of arugula. This is baby arugula. It's the stuff you can find most commonly. So we've got our delicious citrus and any juices that accumulated in the bowl. We're gonna throw a little bit of the shrimp in here. They're still warm, which is delightful, and they're gonna take on this dressing really nicely. Then we're gonna add some of our red onion, break apart the sections. Now we have our delicious dressing. I'm gonna pour a little bit of that over. Gonna toss in a little bit of our arugula, and then we'll toss in our avocado slices. We'll just very gently toss that bad boy to make sure everything gets nicely dressed. Add a little bit of salt to that as well so that all of the ingredients are seasoned. You just don't wanna break apart your avocado too much, and you wanna keep your arugula nice and fresh and not soggy or crushed. We can just plate our salad on top of our crispy rice. It's a delightful looking finished product. That matters to me. I'm gonna take a little spoonful of our dressing and just do a little drizzle over the rice too, so I make sure that it's all over the place. And then I'm gonna finish with a little bit more of our Aleppo style pepper. This took 15 minutes, can you believe? It's so exciting and delicious and wonderful and alluring, and I wanna dive in right now. Hold on. It's so good. The citrus is doing God's work here. Having the mixture that the cara oranges plus the grapefruit really enlivens the whole thing, but had it only been oranges throughout, it would be just as delightful. The shrimp is providing the protein and the bulk here, and the crispy rice is just, to me, like, I need one like texturally and fun, interesting thing in any meal I make, or else I'm bored by it. And this rice is what's keeping me coming back for bite after bite. And this happened so quickly because we had the leftover rice and we had that shrimp in our freezer, which you can thaw really quickly and throw together this delicious dinner. So 15-minute meals, it's possible. It can be something as elevated as this. If you plan, if you have a stock pantry, if you help future you by putting things in the freezer and making a little extra, you can have dinner in 15 minutes, no problem. Don't put a whole shrimp in your mouth while you're on camera. We learn something new every day.